Hey everyone, welcome to another further Descendant video. This time around we're going to start with the intercept battle just so the mod suggestions make a little bit more sense. You can see what really worked well and what could have been improved from this current build that I have. So first you want to make sure we break off all of the armor that Ice Maiden has. So I usually start Relic for that. You can use any gun that works well for you, but this is very simple. And for majority of the build, we're pretty much going to be using the first ability, which is like the water bullet, what it is called. And whenever Iceman does that hand in the air and sends, you know, like a bunch of like ice shard at you, you just want to make sure you run around in the full circle. But aside from that, the build is pretty much straightforward. You just spam your first, and when she does the ice shard, you just go in a full circle. It's not going to be able to hit you. And you know, the tighter the circle, the less chances she will be able to hit you, because this build doesn't really allow you to take too much damage, so you make sure you want to avoid that at all costs. Yeah, I'm gonna let the video play through and then we see you at the build breakdown. So for the build, we're going with the Peacemaker. You go ahead and add in those sprint speed core on it. It's gonna help you run around those icicles pretty easy. The unique ability for the weapon gives you additional non-attribute skill power, and it stacks up to 5 times. This increases your damage by a lot. Best weapon to use with Valby for this build. For the descendant build, it looks like this. Now the main goal is pretty much trying to have as much skill cooldown as possible while doing as much damage as possible at the same time. We are using MP recovery, just to make sure our recovery time is really up. If you're struggling with MP recovery, you can go ahead and add in selective recovery instead. That gives you a lot more MP. I pretty much should be using this, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. And pretty much the main premise of this build is to just spam as much. So the more MP you have, the better you are gonna be able to just continuously do damage onto the boss. Now I have a skill cost reactor, so I wasn't able to kill Ice Maiden when she was on final stand. But if you have something like skill cooldown on your reactor, you could probably switch the focus on non-attribute with something like non-attribute specialist. That's gonna give you additional damage, and that should pretty much kill anybody on final stands. But because I don't have a good reactor as far as my second, I do need as much cooldown as possible. So if you do have a good damage reactor, that should be also fine to just keep that and play with focus on non-attribute. But overall, just going to be spamming your first ability, which is Bubble Bullet, and that's pretty much the only ability you need for this build. We're using the Restore Relic to pretty much destroy the armor at the beginning of the encounter. You could use any gun for it, but this is probably the easiest one. You just shoot the rockets. Nothing has changed from the previous Ice Maiden builds, to the same thing, so nothing to go over here. For my reactor, I do have that skill cost, which is probably the worst part. I prefer skill cooldown here, or one of the damage like non-attribute or fusion, additional fusion damage. For all your components, you want as much HP as possible and as much defense as possible on all of your components. Depending on how much HP you have, maybe you use the energy collector just to have a little bit more modifier there. For the Arche Tuning, pretty much simple. We are using the duration of mutant cell. And for the Inversion Reinforcement, the top one is probably like the only one you do really need, just to have that cooldown come back as much as possible. For the rest of the nodes, you could go with whatever you feel like using. You could use the recovery that gives you more recovery for MPs, but these are the ones that I pretty much play with. So yeah, this pretty much covers the entire build for challenge mode Ice Maiden. You can use this for the regular Ice Maiden. It's definitely going to be easier. If you found anything in this video interesting, please go ahead and drop a like and consider subscribing to help the channel out. And thank you. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.